And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Welcome to the Dice Tower.
Hey, I'm Tom Vasel.
I'm Melody. I'm Amy. I'm Holly.
Today we're taking a look at a game from Gamewright Games, and this game is called Dragonwood. This is a game of pushing your luck, capturing creatures, and rolling dice. Does it sound fun?
Yes.
All right, let's find out. There are two decks in the game. There is a creature deck that is made up of creatures, enhancements, and events. There's also an adventurer's deck of which players are going to be drawing 5 cards at the beginning of the game. These cards are 4 different suits, and they number from 1 to 10. Now on your turn, you have 2 options. You can draw the top card of the deck here and add it to your hand. Okay? If you happen to draw a lucky ladybird, you discard that and draw 2 more cards into your hand. Another thing you can do is you can go out on an adventure out here. Now, let's say I want to defeat the Giggling Goblin. Now, there's 3 ways to defeat each of the creatures, or to basically capture one of these enhancements. You're capturing them, I suppose. You can defeat them by fighting them, by stomping them, or by screaming at them. And there's a different number needed for each one, and some creatures are going to have different things. For example, the easiest way to beat a Giggling Goblin is either by stomping it or screaming at it, while over here, the easiest way to defeat fire ants is definitely by stomping them, and the easiest way to beat the pack of wolves is by fighting them. But let's say I decide to beat the Giggling Goblin here. So, if I'm going to fight it, what I need to do is I need to play cards that are sequential. So, maybe I can play just a 2, a 3, and a 4. Now, I can play as many cards sequentially as I want. That's how many dice I get. In this case, I get 3 dice. I look here, and when I'm fighting, I need to roll a 7 or higher. I rolled exactly a 7. Hooray. I take the Giggling Goblins. They're mine. And I draw a new card to take their place. To stomp them, I would have played cards that are the same number. So in my same hand, I'm like, ooh, I have 2 2s. So again, I roll dice, and I rolled a 4, but I needed a stomp. If you fail when you are trying to capture someone, you get your cards back, but you then must discard 1 card from your hand. You've been wounded. So you don't lose all your cards, just 1 card. If you win, though, you have to get rid of all of them. And finally, there is Scream. Scream is simply cards that are the same color. I have 3 cards here. I roll them. Woohoo! I got an 11. You might be wondering about the numbers on the dice. There's 1 1, 1 4, 2 2s, and 2 3s. So you're usually going to roll 2s and 3s, but you might roll the 1s and 4s. When you capture one of these enhancements here, it's going to give you a special ability. Like, for example, if you have the Friendly Bunny, you can use only once, but you can roll an extra die to do a captured event. The Magical Unicorn adds 1 to any time you capture anything. This one here adds 2 points to all capturing, but as you can see, this one's a harder one to get. There's one that's basically lets you re-roll a die. Or here, this adds 2 points if you're doing a Scream. Now, when you're replacing cards, if you draw an event card, like this one here, everyone has to do whatever it says. You discard and keep going. So everyone passes an adventure card to the left. This gets rid of all the enhancements in the landscape. Or everybody draws 2 cards. Or everybody discards a card. There's going to be all sorts of different creatures. In the bottom half of the deck, there are 2 dragons. The orange dragon and the blue dragon. Both of these are worth a lot of points. If both of these are defeated, the game will end. Or, if players draw through this whole deck, the game also ends. At that point, you simply add together the point values of all the creatures that you have captured, and whoever has the most is the winner. All right, guys, what did you think of Dragon? Well, first of all, let's say, what did you think of the artwork and the pictures in the game?
I like the artwork. Oh, I did too. I did too. Like the fire ants are on fire, and I like the dragons a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad we don't have those kind of fire ants down here. What about you, Holly? Did you like it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so what did you think about the game itself? Did you like it?
Yes. I thought it was very fun to get I thought getting the highest one was my main goal, but I starting small with the smaller numbers, and then I finally got the highest dragon.
Okay.
I thought it was an okay game since I'm not a big fan of luck games where it's like just completely luck because you might not win and it's like no strategy to it. So
All right, Holly.
it was a good game.
What do you think, Holly?
I liked beating other people when they're trying to get something else. Like getting the bucket that was finished, even though I didn't need it.
Okay, so you're saying you like to take things other people want. Yeah, that's very nice of you. Okay, so the game itself is a push your luck style game, and I like that. You can, and I like the different ways that you can do it. Play cards of a kind, to play a straight, to play a flush. Where you're playing cards of the same color. I like that, although I'm not convinced that playing multiples of the same number that's the hardest one to do, I think. To get more than 2 of a number is more difficult than, let's say, to get a straight of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That being said, though, that didn't seem to affect the game that much, and it is good, silly fun. You can play enough cards where you're pretty sure, if you play 4 cards and you need a 6, you probably aren't going to roll 4 ones, although it can happen. And you can always roll a couple dice and hope that you capture something. And getting the enhancements helps too, and so that kind of gives you something. The events and the lucky ladybugs, those are okay. If you really don't like them, you can pull those out. What?
I'm just glad at the end I got a lucky ladybug, because if I didn't get the lucky ladybug, I would have lost.
Okay, that's right. And so, this is really kind of a kid's game, but I think it's a kid game with more strategy than Melody's giving it credit for. Because you really are going to decide which cards in your hand you're going to use to attack something. And you're teaching someone, hey, the easiest way to beat this thing is by screaming at it. So why don't you look for cards of the same color? The easiest way to beat this is by fighting it. So look for cards that are a run, 3, 4, 5, 6. It teaches you about these runs and colors and things. So it's a really good game to teach you a lot of mechanisms and to teach some basic strategy. Your response? Final thoughts on the game.
Okay.
2 thumbs up from Holly?
I like that.
Yeah, and I thought it was really fun too. It was a really good family game. Everyone gets into it, laughing at other people's rolls, cheering for your other rolls, and things like that, and giving the upgrades. Pretty cool, and the artwork I thought was pretty phenomenal. That's Dragonwood. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Knock down.